Love the reference to the litter scooping scene. She must be raking in those bills right now, and I'm here for it. It's incredibly empowering to see Ariana receive all this attention. Some may not understand why she's getting so much recognition, but those of us who know understand. Good for her. Every time that insecure individual tries to twist the narrative, she's probably landing another check in the bank. I'm relieved none of you critics have ever experienced depression or had difficulty managing tasks during a crisis. Is Ariana being a bad pet parent for neglecting the litter box? Possibly. Is that defining of her character? We don't know. Personally, I wouldn't want to be judged based on the worst few months of my life. Besides, doesn't this sponsorship solve the problem you're all complaining about? Putting Ariana's boss status aside, has anyone used these litter boxes? My friend swears by them, but I've heard concerns that the rotating mechanism might discourage cats from using it because their scent gets distributed all over the device. Any truth to this? It's too expensive for me to risk if that's the case. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Spill Chronicles. It's me, Ramona here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. However, Ariana's portrayal in the early seasons is quite divisive among viewers. While she's now seen as an icon loved by many, her behavior back then bothers some people. It's evident she viewed herself as superior to others, particularly evident in her treatment of Stassi. Despite Stassi's efforts to change and reconcile in Season 5, Ariana refused to give her a chance while showing unwavering support for Sandoval, who had his own share of transgressions. This inconsistency in judgment undermines her claim of having keen insight into people's character. Personally, I don't see her as an icon, and not everyone blindly supports her post-Sandoval era. I do empathize with what she went through with Tom and Raquel, as no one deserves that. However, Ariana has exhibited problematic behavior like everyone else on the show. I don't perceive her as kind or empathetic, qualities I value. Her smarter and better than you attitude seems rooted in her own insecurities. She's just a normal, average reality TV star, and I hope she finds happiness. Spoiler alert, everyone on that show exhibits toxic behavior and enables each other's toxicity. Sandoval's recent behavior has been particularly troubling, but none of them are role models. Ariana may symbolize female empowerment in some ways, but that doesn't absolve her flaws. She was quite embarrassing in those early seasons. Stassi, at least, had humor. Ariana boldly asserted her superiority over Kristen, saying, "I'm prettier, smarter, and cooler than you," which was cringeworthy. My feelings haven't changed much over time. While I sympathize with what she endured with Tom, I've never been a big fan. I never saw her as a supportive girl's girl. It always felt like her and Tom against everyone else. On the other hand, since Season 1 aired back in 2013, this really seems to be Katie's best season yet. Katie's off-show friend group appears much more genuine and fun compared to VPR. Despite Katie's well-known aversion to working out, how does she manage to look so good? She's truly living her best life and looks as great as ever, especially compared to her ex, who seems to have aged significantly since their divorce. It seems like they might be at Ariana's new house in the latest episodes. I think this has been Katie's best season in a couple of years. Also, it's heartwarming to see how James has been Team Katie ever since he gave her his heartfelt apology back in Season 8. I'm pretty sure it was Season 8. Whatever season it was, I'm glad they had that conversation, because both have been doing great, whether it's Team James or Team Katie. However, the first thing out of Schwartz's mouth after he proposed to Katie was, "She was such a bitch to me all day." My mind was absolutely blown. He couldn't even be nice to her in the first few minutes of their engagement. This guy, man, Katie deserves the world, and she is much better off now. That whole proposal was terrible. Jesus, I know Katie isn't perfect, but watching those earlier seasons in hindsight is like a different viewing experience. He was terrible to her. The whole wedding stressed me out so much. And then him losing their marriage license twice. Additionally, did I miss something with the Billy Lee and Victoria drama? It seemed to suddenly go super quiet. Last I remember, Billy Lee showed texts proving Kyle and Victoria were spreading false information on that podcast. Was that the end of it? I thought it would drag on longer. Also, *Traders* has finished filming. Now we're waiting for Sandoval to release a statement. I get the feeling Sandoval hates being on bad terms with people, except exes. He seems to need to be seen as the good guy. So maybe he's not pleased with Victoria and Kyle for getting involved in the beef with Billy. Billy seemed to stir up drama to promote her book and podcast tour, which she had to cancel some shows for due to low ticket sales. The whole thing felt staged to me. These nobodies getting famous off a reality star? Or was it an orchestrated attempt to bring them onto the show so Tom can have friends? It feels so calculated. Moreover, rewatching season 4 reunion with Brittany's first appearance, I can't help but wonder how she ended up with Jax in the valley without serious intervention from her loved ones. It's clear Brittany is caught in some kind of trauma bond cycle with Jax, compounded by a cultural upbringing where men's infidelity might not be viewed as severely. Her naivety is frustrating, especially considering she can watch all of this play out on TV. Our first introduction to Brittany in season 4 is alongside Jax, who is already playing games with her before we even get to know her as a person. It's alarming and speaks volumes. Imagine uprooting your life, as she often reminds us, for a man who was actively pursuing other women, like Lala, while she was making efforts to move closer to him. Watching that back should scream red flag, yet she still blames Lala at the reunion and lightly reprimands Jax. He cheats multiple times, even with recorded incidents, and lies to her family about the seriousness of his actions, and she stays with him. Beyond how he treats her, I couldn't be with someone who consistently mistreats others. Witnessing my partner gaslight people constantly would make me question if I'm being manipulated too. Plus, Jax's basic hot persona, combined with bad energy, is palpable through the screen. Their supposed connection over enjoying basic sitcoms like Friends as a relationship highlight speaks volumes about their values. It's baffling how her family and loved ones haven't staged interventions or urged her to leave Jax. Everyone knows Jax is terrible. Why hasn't anyone intervened? Brittany hasn't had the best role model for healthy relationships. Her mother has been married 3 times, which adds complexity. When Jax cheated again in season 6, Brittany had a chance to leave him and potentially continue on the show like Stassi. It's hard to sympathize with her current situation, given his verbal abuse and other issues. Also, her entrance into the show by essentially cheating on her long-term partner with Jax via social media and a Vegas hookup raises eyebrows. She must have been aware of Jax's history, making her life-changing decision to chase him and TV fame appear sketchy. In summary, it seems Brittany's family may be more opportunistic than supportive, which raises further questions about her situation with Jax. On the other hand, I've come to realize that I've been participating in discussions about the physical appearances of cast members, whether it's their weight, hot body, or any perceived changes. I feel remorseful about engaging in this behavior. It's clear that these discussions don't align with my values. For instance, Sheena struggles with mental health issues that can affect her weight, and Lala's actions are far more significant than any cosmetic procedures she may have undergone. Critiquing Sandoval's character should focus on his behavior rather than speculating about how drug use might impact his appearance. Ariana and Katie are undergoing positive changes in their lives that are unrelated to their physical appearance. I'm not here to judge others, but I've realized that my own behavior needs to change. I want to refocus my discussions to be more respectful and aligned with my values. Moreover, I find it confusing how some people are comfortable calling someone a soulless scumbag narcissist, yet find commenting on physical appearance, like saying someone looks bloated, to be crossing a line. Shouldn't it be considered worse to insult someone's character and humanity than to discuss their physical appearance? However, in rewatching Season 4 and the reunion episode, it's striking how Lisa and Stassi clashed over the handling of the sex tape situation. Many viewers find it distasteful how Lisa seemed to hold that incident over Stassi's head. Stassi's perspective makes sense. She didn't secure a signed agreement with Frank, and he kept possession of the sex tape without her knowledge. Lisa's insistence on receiving gratitude for taking care of the situation, according to her own perception, can feel nauseating. It appears she expects recognition for her actions, which undermines any positive outcome. Moreover, Stassi didn't actually pay off Frank. The $900 involved was reportedly for unpaid wages owed to him. Lisa's behavior regarding business and money has often been seen as dubious or unsettling. Even her dealings with the Toms over TomTom involved a peculiar approach, from avoiding a contract to delaying cashing a significant check for a year and then shaming them over it. Stassi's handling of the situation set a precedent, as Ariana later exemplified. Stassi effectively distanced herself from Jax and those associated with him. Notably, she didn't allow for a Jax apologizing to Stassi moment, and she exited SUR similarly to Ariana by the season's end, despite facing criticism and being labeled as a bitch. Even when Scheana watched her sex tape and shared it, Stassi maintained her composure and disengaged from the drama. For these reasons, many align with Team Stassi in this situation. Additionally, Ariana's presence on our screens seems secure, even if VPR producers might not favor her due to their inability to control her or her boundaries. With her successful debut on Love Island, I believe Peacock will continue featuring her in the reality TV realm, whether or not VPR is involved. A potential show like SIH with Katie, Ariana, and their genuine friends could be intriguing, regardless of its success. Ariana's independence from VPR underscores her appeal to audiences, contrasting with others who rely heavily on the show. Despite any internal conflicts, the audience generally supports Ariana and wants to see her on screen, minus the toxic elements. Additionally, Peacock, being a subsidiary of NBC Universal, ensures Ariana's continued presence on TV. Her ventures like Duties, Love Island, commercials, and Broadway offer further avenues for visibility. NBC Universal's backing further solidifies her position, making her less reliant on VPR. The real tension between Lala and Ariana might stem from Ariana's rise above the show. Ariana's influence and ability to negotiate terms reflect her status as an asset to Peacock, possibly commanding a higher paycheck and exerting more control over her involvement. Unlike others dependent on external factors like wealth, Ariana's strength lies in her own achievements and connections. Ultimately, Ariana's resilience and public support, especially amid personal challenges like betrayal, have endeared her to viewers who believe she deserves better treatment. This shift in perception underscores her growing influence beyond VPR and highlights her appeal to broader audiences. Moreover, I'm absolutely stunned by Schwartz's behavior in Season 5, Episode 17, Drag Battle. It's heartbreaking to see how much he clearly dislikes Katie, especially considering she's unaware of half the hurtful things he says behind her back. Most of the time, Schwartz calls her names and claims he won't marry her, only to then crawl into bed with her and spout insincere apologies and Bubba nonsense. His behavior towards Stassi, where he needlessly brings up her dating history after her recent breakup, is particularly cruel and irrelevant. Katie's distress stems primarily from Schwartz cheating on her, yet he refuses to take responsibility for his actions. Instead, She faces relentless criticism simply for not accepting his insincerity. It's an abusive dynamic, and it's becoming clear to me that Schwartz is just as slippery as Sandoval, a realization I missed in my initial viewing. I'm currently watching Season 6, where it's revealed Schwartz cheated on Katie after their marriage, and his dismissive attitude telling her not to cry and to have some perspective only reinforces how toxic their relationship was. I'm relieved she ultimately divorced him. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.